This is just a test to see how my eyebrows are. They right? Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of The Change Guru. I'm Sue Padgett. I'm a speaker, a coach, a writer, a vlogger, a podcaster, and a soon-to-be author, and that's actually inspired this video. The Change Guru is a place where we have a conversation about all things midlife. And one of the things that many of us think about at midlife is how do we change? How do we kind of shed our old skin, shed the last 40 or 50 years and move forward to the next half of our life and do things better? Make really big changes. How do we do it? For some of us, the idea of making change is so scary that we don't even want, we can't even go there. But during this year of writing my first book, which is called Be Your Own Change Guru, The Ultimate Guide for Thriving at Midlife, I've learned a few things along the way, because for me, writing a book has also been a really massive reinvention of who I am and what I do. So I want to share these 3 tips with you that hopefully will help you be able to, step into this new role, this new reinvention, even if it feels a little bit scary. I find that these 3 tips that I've been using myself really help you ease into it in a graceful and sustainable way. Here's the first tip. The first tip is to lean in. Lean into yourself. Now, lean in is kind of, the catch cry of this year, because what lean in means is it means don't run away, don't back off, move forward, listen in, literally lean into what you want to do. So what I find that's been so helpful is in the process of writing a book, through the whole thing, from the start to the finish, whenever there's a challenge or whatever, rather than retreating, backing away, hiding my head under the covers, I lean into it. I lean into myself. So that is my first tip for you. Lean into yourself. It's another way of backing yourself, trusting your gut. Lean in. The thing about leaning in is that it is also a way of checking in with yourself, of making sure that this idea of reinvention is completely right for you. We can't reinvent ourselves for another person. That doesn't work. We can't reinvent ourselves to be something that is completely against our beliefs, our values, just absolutely doesn't feel right for us because of things that we read in a magazine or things that we see on television or things that our friends are doing. We really have to check in with ourselves, and that's what lean in also means. It means facing whatever you need to face, but also constantly checking in. Is this right for me? Is this right for me? Is this right for me? That is a really important part of reinvention. The second part of reinvention that I have found so helpful is the idea of easing in, dipping your toes into something slowly, slowly. A lot of times when we think that we want to reinvent ourselves, whether it's, lose 10 pounds or get a new hairstyle or get a new career or whatever, we often feel like we have to just go really, really hard and get into it really fast. The thing is that going fast doesn't give us enough time to check in and make sure it's right for us, to look at a bunch of different options that we have to achieve the mission, to make sure things that feel good. So when you ease in, slowly dipping your toes into a situation, it helps you be able to check in constantly and see if that's right for you. I know for me, when I was writing my book, there would be times where I would feel like I literally could not look at this book anymore. I think I did 6 or 7 drafts of it, and I would literally have to put it on ice and not think about it. So I had to trust that process, because just to make sure the book was feeling right, I was committed to doing it, absolutely. But I just kind of was able to put it aside, let it breathe, and just think about it. So I was easing in rather than feeling like I had to finish this thing in a certain amount of time. And it wouldn't be the book that I'm proud to put into the world right now if I would have rushed it. So just going very slowly made it feel more like an organic process. So in your change, for example, say you want to lose 10 pounds, Ease into it. Find the type of exercise that's right for you. Take time examining your habits, how you eat, where, are you eating emotionally? Are you drinking too much? What are your social patterns? Just looking, really evaluating that way. Working out, do you need a coach? Do you need a fitness trainer? Do you need to join a gym or a yoga class or whatever? What are your habits? Do you just need to walk more? Just ease in slowly, and if one thing doesn't work, try something else. Ease in. My third tip, this one's so important. It's so important to know this one from the start, and that's the importance of consistency, the importance of constantly showing up for yourself. Reinvention is nothing if you just put on, a new outer thing for one day and then you find it doesn't work and you give up. I mean, that's like Halloween, right? That's not 100%. You want a reinvention that's going to slip right into your skin. So for me, I had to consistently show up. I had to have a plan. I had to know that I was going to follow through and finish this thing. I also had to know it was going to take as long as it was going to take. So even though I hadn't done a book before, I had a general idea that I needed to pace myself with it, that I wasn't going to be able to do my best work if I knocked it out in a couple weeks' time. So have a look at what you want to achieve and ask yourself, how long do you want to make this change? Ask yourself if that's realistic for you. You can even ask other people if you think that that is a realistic amount of time to make this change. And then stick with the plan. Be consistent. Keep the end in mind. A goal is you just absolutely have to have an outcome. But the only way that you are going to be able to know what that outcome is and be able to reach that outcome is by doing the work step by step by step. And a lot of times the work of being consistent is absolutely not glamorous. It's not glamorous, it's not fun, but it's just a matter, you will be amazed, that baby step approach. I speak about it all the time in writing my book, in making any kind of transition, whether it's career, relationship, your personal health, your life purpose. It's the slow things, the little things that actually turn into what I said at the beginning of this video. You ease in gracefully, and it's sustainable, it's lasting. Before you know it, you've reinvented yourself. So those are my 3 tips for reinventing yourself, and they all have come about because of my book, Be Your Own Change Guru. I'll tell you a little bit about the book. And Be Your Own Change Guru, my belief is that we are all the gurus, all the teachers of our midlife change. What I do in this book is I just lay out kind of a plan of how to tackle big picture change, how to make change in a way that I explain in all these videos. I'm a big believer in slow and steady wins the race because we're in it for the long haul. So that's kind of my methodology through this whole book, but it just takes you through a 5-step process of making change at midlife, and I can't wait to share it with you. Get on my newsletter list at www.thechangeguru.net, and from there you'll be the first person to know when you can come and grab a copy of Be Your Own Change Guru. All right, so join the reinvention, get on board, and I'm really happy to be reinventing right along with you. Have a super, super week. I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now. Right? Oh, so many things to think about.